You have guys that have been in the service for 20 plus years, some guys that have only been in for 10 years, different positions, firefighters, chiefs, captains, engineers. So you get something from everybody.
The Fire Academy training grounds in the city of Roseville, in partnership with Sierra College, are quite state-of-the-art, if you will. There are classroom space, drill grounds, a 5-story training tower. There are many props that make us one of the standout academies in the state. One of the reasons that we ask our recruits to have their EMT first is so when they're done with the academy, they're immediately ready to start applying for jobs in the fire service.
We also do what we call refresher training during the academy, which also gives some continuing educational credits so they can keep those EMT cards current. And it only takes 2 semesters to potentially get an entry-level job into the fire service. We work with the local government and local agencies to provide internships for our graduates. And those internships are important because it gives you that 6-month amount of time to successfully get that State Fire Marshal Firefighter 1 certificate.
What we find is that we want a candidate that's well-rounded, has a wide background, varied experience, all risk, where we respond to hazardous materials, we respond to EMS calls, and we respond to fires, along with community needs.
Student that goes to our regional fire academy pay the same price per unit as a normal student here at the college. Whereas if they were to go to a private academy, they could be paying quite a bit more out of pocket for the same exact training.
The experience was great. The knowledge that I gained just from those 18 weeks of the academy was one of the best that I could have ever done. I mean, it's like no other.
Please rise for the posting of the colors and the national anthem. This time, post the colors. Post colors. This time, I'd like to invite Emily Burns to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We'll give Emery one more round of applause. Thank you so much. Okay, if you could remain standing, I'd like to invite Dan Slois up to do the invocation, firefighter paramedic from the City of Roseville Fire.
Thank you. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask for your blessing upon this graduation. We ask that you just protect them as they move forward into their careers, that you would surround them with a hedge of protection, Lord. We thank them for their families that are here today, the people that have supported them and been with them, Lord. We just ask that you would just bless their families and bless this graduation, Lord. We ask for the people that are working today across this country, that you would just be with them. Let them know that they are not alone and that you are with them, Lord. We just ask your blessing in this name. Amen.
18-1. Seats. You all may be seated. I'd like to invite Chief Tim Palmer, the coordinator of the Sierra College Fire Technology Program.
How y'all doing tonight? Can you hear me okay? A long time coming, but I think it's important that we thank a lot of the people that made this happen. Again, my name is Tim Palmer. I'm the Fire Technology Program Coordinator. And to all the parents, family, friends, and colleagues and distinguished guests on behalf of our Board of Trustees and our President, Willie Duncan, welcome to the 18-1 Regional Fire Academy Graduation Ceremony. It's an honor to welcome you all here to this wonderful occasion to celebrate this graduating Fire Academy class who have, after countless hours of training, have truly earned this day of recognition. Today signifies the completion of a significant step in the pursuit of a career in the fire service. This semester, each candidate completed probably a lot more than 626 hours of training and 18.5 units and 13 industrial recognized certifications. We're pretty proud that they were able to achieve all that in just 21 weeks, thereabouts. So, again, we'd like to thank the Board of Trustees, our President, Willie Duncan, Vice President of Instruction, Deborah Bochicchio, Fire Technology Dean, and she's here tonight, Amy Schultz, Associate Dean, Darlene Jackson, and the Placer County and Nevada County Fire Chiefs Association, who support everything that we do. I'd also like to thank the theater staff, the folks in the booth up there, the Roseville Fire Department Color Guard, Sacramento Bagpipes, our guest speaker, administrative and instructional support staff, and most importantly to you all, the families and loved ones who supported these cadets and encouraged them throughout the entire academy. I also want to recognize our general staff, Academy Director Mark Romer, who couldn't be here tonight. He's in Italy. Drill Master Matt Jewett, also our MC tonight. Logistics Chief Dean Mora. Our Planning Section Chief John Palmer, the better one and better looking and smarter one of the Palmers up here. Secondly, thank you to all the instructors and volunteers who put in countless hours to teach, mentor, and coach this class to success. And I'd like to give a special thanks to this wonderful young lady down here, Valerie Cart, who does so much work for the fire academies and makes them happen. And also who couldn't be here tonight, Cheryl Harris. And most importantly, thank you to these graduates for choosing Sierra College to complete your fire academy training. We're pretty happy that we're an award-winning fire technology program recognized by the State Chancellor's Office, and we recently just received a strong workforce star. That means people that graduate from our fire academy are placed at a high percentage in jobs or make more money as a result of the training they've taken at Sierra College. So welcome everyone. I know you're as proud as I am of these candidates. I'd like to say one more thing because I just realized the numbers. I'm kind of a numbers guy. We started with 34 cadets, and that's a pretty good number to start with. We're graduating 33. And if my math is correct, that's a 97% success rate in our fire academy. Most fire academies, including ours a number of years ago, have a success rate of 70 to 80%. That's a failure rate of 20 to 30%. And so we work hard to try to up that number and help the success. And so, to the best of our records, this is the first ever graduating class from Sierra College with a 97% success rate, and we should give them a hand for that.
All right, good evening. My name is Matthew Jewett. I'm the drill master for the Sierra College Regional Fire Academy down here in Roseville and Rockland. I've had the pleasure to be the drill master for this academy for the last 21 weeks. We talk about the success rate of 97%, and some people may go, well, does that translate into a rigorous program? I don't know, you all, is this pretty rigorous? Yes, sir. You ask them, I don't think they had much of a social life, if at all. And I'm going to describe some of the things that they have done and what they've accomplished. First of all, is anybody curious what 18-1 means? Yes? Okay. What that means is the year 2018. They are the first class in 2018 at Sierra College for the Fire Academy. We have another academy going up at our Grass Valley campus. They're 18-2. And in the end of July, we'll have 18-3 starting after they're completed. So they're the first class in 2018 to complete. That's what 18-1 means. And that is this numbering system for fire academies has been a tradition for many generations. That tradition continues as this is the 34th graduating class at Sierra College. They follow a long history of aspiring firefighters who have completed the rigors, and I want to emphasize the rigors of this program. I'm going to give you all a little insight into what the cadets have accomplished to be here today, to sit in those seats right there. The cadets have endured 21 weeks, they were here at the academy either at the tower or here doing physical fitness with our coach 7 days a week, adding up to 626.5 hours of classroom, drill ground, and physical fitness training. Some of these trainings include structural firefighting, instant command system training, confined space, hazardous material, live fire training, which I probably imagine is their favorite, firefighter survival, vehicle extrication, the CAL FIRE Basic Wildland Firefighter, and a series of wildland fire behavior courses, and 80 hours just on physical fitness. To be allowed to walk on stage tonight, the cadets were required to maintain an 80% standard on all 31 written quizzes and tests. 80% standard, nothing below that. And a 100%, you have to get perfection, 100% on all 3 module tests, which are comprised of 68 different hands-on skills. The hours mentioned before do not include the hours the cadets must prep for the academy, polishing their boots, ironing their uniforms, cleaning their personal protective equipment, studying, meal preparation, and typing out their notes to maintain a 5-inch binder, all of which are inspected by myself and the academy director every 2 weeks. The bi-monthly inspections were, let's say, challenging? What do you think? Yes? All right. Many of the cadets sitting on stage tonight worked full-time jobs while attending this academy. To say completing this rigorous program is an accomplishment is an understatement. The cadets have accomplished much, yet none of it would have been possible without the support, understanding, and the love that they receive from their people at home. I would like to take this opportunity to give gratitude to all the friends, the mentors, significant others, and family members that supported the cadets over the last 21 weeks. 18-1. Attention!
Academy, gratitude to loved ones.
Seats. That's their way of saying thank you. They wouldn't be able to sit in these seats without the understanding of their people at home, truly. So we thank you. The training, testing, evaluating, inspecting, and stressors the cadets overcame in this program is just the beginning for them as they move forward. These skills are the foundation of how, with a little bit of why, to do the job. As you all move forward, there will be many things to learn, many challenges to overcome, and heartache you must work through. Let me emphasize, heartache you must work through. There will be wins and losses, property, people, and children you save, and many you do not. There will be calls that challenge your skills, your knowledge, and your resolve. This is a mindset that a firefighter must have, or there is a mindset that a firefighter must have to reflect, evaluate, learn, and move forward in a productive and positive way. And I think you all know what that mindset is. What is it? What's the mindset? Okay, with a growth mindset. There we go. Okay, I kind of try and emphasize that throughout the academy. Okay, firefighters are held to a higher standard. Some of these standards include integrity, with honesty as your foundation. I'm pointing at you all, okay, you will always do what's right. Professionalism, a personal commitment to exceed expectations of the profession in your attitude, your ability, and your appearance. Teamwork, a partnership of coordinated effort based on trust. Empowerment, support, and communication. And most importantly, service before self. Recognizing and placing the needs of others before your own, including the needs of your community, your team, and your family. You must demonstrate through your actions and not your words what it means to be servant leaders. I cannot emphasize enough that as you move forward into the fire service towards a paid professional career position, that you strive to always be a student of your craft, always learn, always growing, always understanding you do not know everything, and that there is always room to improve and grow. The communities and people we serve are calling you on the worst days of their lives. They're calling you in hopes that you can solve their problem. As a firefighter, let me look at you, you are people's last hope. You are their lifeline. They're depending on you to make an impact. And the only way to do that is to have empathy, humility, and kindness in your heart, that you don't judge, that you go on every call with the intent to make a difference in the world, that you help shape our communities for good, and that you protect the innocent, the disenfranchised, and the people who need you the most. That responsibility that firefighters take on their shoulders is huge. You must take that responsibility and own it. In closing, I ask you, how are you going to own that responsibility, that weight, to protect and defend our communities? What is your plan to succeed? Congratulations, Sierra College Fire Academy Class 18-1. Let's give them a round of applause. We have the honor to have Fire Chief Dennis Matheson of California State Fire Marshal as our congratulatory address. Thank you, Chief.
Good evening. And wow, I'm very impressed. Such a fine-looking group of young men and women. I want you to all cherish this moment and cherish your accomplishment. And I got a few things to tell you about what's about to come. First of all, good evening. Thank you again for this opportunity to attend this important graduation ceremony and say a few words in recognition of this group's wonderful accomplishments. Again, my name's Dennis Matheson. I'm the California State Fire Marshal. The Academy, you just successfully completed is an important extension of the state fire service training and education system, setting you on the path to achieving your Firefighter 1 certification. You need to know what that means. That system is one of many programs housed within the Office of the State Fire Marshal, and we're quite proud of it, and it is the standard in the state of California. Sierra College, I have to show a little pride here. I used to be an instructor and hope to maybe someday again. So I'm very proud of this school. Sierra College and its fire technology program has been a leader in firefighter training for many years. As our state fire training program embarked upon updating the new California Firefighter 1 curriculum a few years ago and aligning certification with the National Fire Protection Association's professional qualification standards, Sierra College was there for us and helped us build this solid training curriculum, making it what it is today. This is only the beginning of your fire service career. You've all chosen what is arguably the best, coolest career on the planet. Mark my words. You are going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. But at the end of every day, you're going to look at yourself in the mirror and say, yep, this was a good decision. It is a career that lured me away from my original path to become an architect 33 years ago. Believe it or not, that's where I was going. It is the career that I have been proud of, and I know each and every one of you has the ability to do great things along your journey. Always remember why you chose the fire service, to serve the public within your communities. Remember this fact and you will do well in staying grounded and focused on the important elements of being a firefighter, protecting life, property, and the environment. I also want to encourage all of you to continue your training and education throughout your career. The Academy is the foundation of your knowledge, skills, and abilities. Continued training will play a key role in your future to safely carry out the many tasks you will be expected to perform. My key message to you is never stop learning. Never. I want to congratulate all of you as the class of 18-1 for a job well done. Being part of one of the largest classes and such a high passing rate is something to be proud of, and that you should. So my best wishes to you as you move forward in your adventure in the fire service, and please be safe. Thank you.
All right, it's my pleasure to invite Cadet Lim up for the class representative speech.
How's everybody doing today? Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm Cadet Jeremy Lim from Company 1, and on behalf of 18-1 Academy, we would like to personally thank all of you for being here today. We know that a lot of you have come from a long ways, and we just want to let you know we appreciate it. I also apologize if I get shinier throughout the speech. The lights didn't get brighter, my sweat glands just got bigger, so I apologize. Academy 18-1. Take a good look around you, like a really good look. The faces you see next to you tonight are the same faces we've seen every day for the past few months, but the individuals, I guarantee, were not the same that came into this academy. I want you to take a moment and think back to orientation 6 months ago. Try and remember who filled that room. In case that it's a little blurry, that room was filled with faces that were unshaven, faces that lacked discipline, faces filled with hairstyles that didn't even meet the academy standards. Some people had full beards, man buns, and someone even had green hair. And as we stood there at attention and got yelled at for our appearance, the room quickly filled with faces stained with doubt and covered with uncertainty. And with that, we lost 5 faces from the very beginning. That orientation was a very important key in our journey, not only because it marked the date that we all met, but because it was the exact moment that marked the last time these faces would ever see each other as strangers. In a short amount of time, those faces would evolve into clean-shaven, well-disciplined, well-trained firefighters, and eventually become brothers, sisters, and ultimately a family. The next couple of months were filled with up and down emotions, mental and physical fatigue, high levels of stress, as we had to learn not only the skills of firefighting, but also how to communicate proficiently and operate as one heartbeat. It was definitely a difficult journey, but we did it. We learned that a firefighter shouldn't be measured by the height and weight, but rather be measured by the size of the fight in their heart. You could be 5 foot tall and still throw a ladder 5 times your height and do so with the best technique. Or you can be 6 foot tall and a little husky and still escape through a 16-inch wide wall stud. That was me. We learned that in order to be a great firefighter, you must practice the art of metacognition, which is the lifelong process of self-reflection to grow and in order for self-improvement. We learned about cultural humility, and that being a diverse academy was not only limited to the color of our skin, but also the difference in upbringings, different life experience, childhoods, environments, and different skill sets we possessed and were able to bring to the table. We learned that the most sacred thing to a person is their name, and with that, if you're able to get a nickname from one of the cadre, you were pretty lucky. Unless that nickname was said behind your back, then that's a different story. But aside from fire suppression, hazmat, and wildland firefighting, some of the best lessons and moments we'll never forget were the ones we gained from each other. For example, for me, one of the best lessons we learned is the importance of deodorant. If you want to clear a room out fast, tell 33 firefighters to take their gear off at the exact same time after a full day of training. It was kind of like love at first sight or death at first sniff. What was really amazing to me is that 33 cadets trained in hazmat who can identify, maintain, and manage a toxic inhalation hazard forgot to put on deodorant in the mornings. We'll always remember that the first of many donkey barbecues that we received. Since, for the lack of a better term, donkey barbecue is, let's just say, it's verbal discipline expressed at a high volume. We had a lot of those this year. We'll always remember that Tim Rohr, no matter the weather, you had two options: hydrate, hydrate or dihydrate. No matter the weather, we had to drink water each and every day, and Tim Rohr made sure we did that. We also learned that Cadet Hickman, if you can raise your hand, his hair looked like that after a full day of training when he takes the helmet off. Thus earning him the nickname Bieber from Chief Romer. We also learned that no matter if he's excited, sad, or confused, Cadet Hodges sounds exactly the same. I know this personally because we had a carpool, and after our last module, I said, "Hey, Haji, how do you feel? You know, we graduated." And he was like, "You know, pretty excited, like, pretty stoked, you know." We also learned that if you ask a firefighter what are two things they can't go without, they would probably say air in their cylinder or water in their hose. If you ask Cadet Johnson the same question, she might say Coke Zero in the fridge and Cheez-Its in her lunch bag. Oh, speaking of food, we learned that on a fire ground, sometimes the thing to fear is not even the flames itself. It's Cadet Cardoza hangry because he hasn't had lunch yet. I don't know who gets more excited, Cadet White learning that we have a bicep workout for the day, or Cardoza's last 3 seconds at the microwave. We learned that if you have questions about Bitcoin, tips to increase your credit score, or you just want a Taco Bell taco, Cadet Landenberger was your man. I don't know what number was higher, the amount of tacos Landy ate throughout the academy, or the number of times Chief Romer said the word, "all right." During lecture, I believe he said it 137 times in 50 minutes. We counted. While taking adequate notes, sir, while taking adequate notes. We learned that some of you guys are a kid at heart, but a grandpa at the hairline. Notice I didn't say any names at that, because I have a lot of family members here today, and it looks like with genetics, I might be headed down that route too, so, you know. But all jokes aside, we have learned many lessons throughout the academy and have grown so much. I'm going to be honest, when I first was voluntold to do this speech, I immediately hesitated and told our BC Battalion Chief Tim Rohr that I was uncomfortable doing so. Something about the pressure of being the voice for 33 amazing individuals on top of not naturally being a good public speaker boggled my mind, and nerves began to fill my body. It wasn't until one day at physical training we were discussing it, and he asked me a question that would change my whole perspective. He asked me, "Lim, if you look at some of the greatest people in this world today, do you think they achieved the most personal growth from experiences where they were uncomfortable or from experiences they never attempted?" With that infamous Rohr side smirk, he knew he got me. And he did. As I look at all of you on the stage today, I realize that we're all here tonight because we made a choice. Every day, 7 days a week, for 6 months, to be uncomfortable. We committed 100% of blood, sweat, and tears we have in our body to this academy. And whenever we were faced with a situation where we had to choose whether of being uncomfortable or sit out because of fear, we chose the first option. Because we knew it was better to try and fail than to never try at all. Chief Palmer always said, with failure comes a lesson. And with that, and with the help of our brothers and sisters, we made sure that that lesson was learned and that on our second attempt, we're going to be successful. As some of you noticed today, there was an engine parked outside. The words on that engine says 18-1, strong alone, and unstoppable together. At first, we weren't really sure what those words meant. We just knew that it kind of sounded catchy and it looked good on paper. It wasn't until module testing, when people started to fail their skills, did those words start to obtain real weight and develop meaning. We were all individually, physically, and mentally capable of being successful, but we learned that we were much more effective and proficient when we fought through things together as a team rather than flying solo. It was these moments we learned that it didn't matter what differences you had with each other that day. It didn't matter what company number was labeled on your helmet. All that mattered was one of us were in trouble and we needed help. I believe that this mindset, this mentality that no one gets left behind, is the primary reason we're able to make Sierra College history. Our actions have elevated the bar and created a new standard that will ripple on to the future academy classes to come. For those of you that don't know, our 18-1 Academy class are the first in Sierra College history to graduate the same number of cadets that we started with as of Module 1 testing, without losing anyone in the process. For that, my fellow cadets, I give you and us a round of applause. And on behalf of 18-1, I would like to express our extreme gratitude to everyone that supported us throughout this process. I want to say thank you to Coach Jason Gant. Thank you, Coach, for pushing us to be the best versions of ourselves, physically and mentally, each and every day. Thank you for keeping us humble by giving us a reality check every now and then when we thought we were all that in a bag of chips. And a big thank you for turning some of us extra huskies into extra mediums. Thank you to our parents, in my case, my brother and his wife, for taking us cadets back under your roof. Thank you for the financial support and daily meals that were prepped and ready to go, especially on those nights we spent all day training, only to have to type up notes all night long and do it all over again by 5 a.m. Your support made graduation possible by ensuring we focused on nothing but the academy. Thank you to our family and friends for understanding that we had to put life on hold for 6 months and never made it hard when we couldn't be around. I would also like to issue a big thank you to our significant others, all the boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, and wives. Thank you for being so understanding and subconsciously taking a back seat as we put the academy first on our priority list. Thank you for helping us study late nights, going over skills practice with us, and listening to us vent for hours on end on how our bodies were sore and our brains were feeling weak. Thank you for reassuring us that our relationship at home was solid, allowing us to go to work every day, focusing on the task at hand, so that we can perform at a high level without jeopardizing the safety of our brothers and sisters. Most importantly, thank you to the cadre and instructors on the drill grounds, Chief Palmer, Chief Romer, Engineer Jewett, and the rest of the academy staff for creating a positive and fun learning environment. Thank you for sharing your personal experiences and nuggets of information so that we can not only be hard workers, but smart workers instead. And also a very special thank you to the staff that dedicated your time strictly as volunteers, previous cadets from the academies, and anyone who just wanted to help. Thank you, Firefighter Weber, who shows up constantly sharing his knowledge every year unpaid just to give back to the academy that got him to where he was today. You are our mentor, our friend, our crazy Uncle Weber, who provided a clear perspective from the outside when we couldn't see things clearly for ourselves. And lastly, thank you to my fellow cadets. Thank you for constantly pushing me and each other to being the best versions of ourselves that we could be. This journey was a difficult one, and I cannot picture any other group of people I'd rather go to war with on a daily basis. I wish you luck, health, and happiness in all of your endeavors, and hope that you can show your future brothers and sisters the same unconditional love you showed me. And remember, when the stress of the world gets a little too hot, sometimes you just gotta stop, check with a gloved hand, for heat, and stay low and let it blow. Thank you.
That's not easy to do all at once. They've only had about an hour and a half to practice that. So right now, we have a special presentation of some skills. They're going to give you some examples of some skills that they learned very early on in the academy. Before we do that, we also have another special thanks that Mr. Meadows Turner would like to give.
Just wanted to take this opportunity to thank the Advanced Manufacturing Department here at Sierra College, specifically instructional assistant Andy Shirk and my good friend Lucas Yetter. They helped us to cut out and custom fabricate the grill that is on our engine, and it looks fantastic. So a round of applause for them, please. Thank you.
Mr. Turner worked on that tirelessly the last 2 weeks, so it's a beautiful grill that they put on the engine. This class, the logos on the fire engine, the grill, everything you see on that engine, they did. They paid for it out of their own pockets. This is pretty neat. So what we have going on is what we call the Personal Protective Equipment 60-second drill. They have to do this drill, obviously, in 60 seconds. The reason being, every second counts in responding to a fire. So they're going to demonstrate it for you on stage, but they have a special treat. The standard's not easy, but they've done it a million times. So we're going to step up and do it blindfolded. No pressure, none at all. It's only like 500 people in here. All right, PPE, 60-second drill. Ready? Don't jump it. Go! There's a certain order they have to do it in, a certain method they have to do it in, and this is one of those skills that they have to get 100%. They get one retest. If they don't pass that, they're out of the academy. This was one of the skills they were tested on during our Module 1 testing. Very basic skill they learned in the first 2 weeks, but a very important skill. As this is equipment, 28 seconds. This equipment protects them from fire. 36. 40. 41. 42. All right. A little more challenging blindfolded. So we have another example of one of the skills that they do. This one is their self-contained breathing apparatus, or otherwise known as their SCBA. This is what protects their airway and their face inside of a structure fire. Again, the importance of this is donning it and putting it on as quickly as they can, because again, every second counts on a fire. It used to be the old adage that a fire doubles every minute that passes. That's not true anymore. With all the petroleum-based products that are in our homes today, called a solid-state petroleum fire, because everything's plastic and synthetic, fires advance much, much more quickly now. With that, they have to be able to get this gear on quick to be able to save and put out fires, save people and put out fires. So again, they're going to step up the game, not only do it under 60 seconds again, but blindfolded as well. Okay, SCBA, 60-second drill. Ready? Some important things that you'll look for is making sure at the end that there's no skin showing because they'll get burned, that they have a good seal around their face piece so they don't waste air. The air in their air cylinder is gold in a structure fire. If something goes wrong, they want every cubic inch of that. And the other thing is no air leaks as they're putting this gear on. 40 seconds. $47, $50, good job. So again, that was just 2 of the 68 skills that they have to master and get 100% on. And these skills are learned in the first 2 weeks and tested on Module 1. All right, so now we also have another special treat coming up. The cadets had the opportunity to have GoPros, cameras, as they went out throughout the academy to capture a little bit of what the academy is like, so that way at the end of it, they can share it with their family and friends so they have an idea of what they went through. So as soon as they come back out, we're going to watch a video that they put together themselves. Any second now. It's not easy. They got to take their gear off, make sure the SCBAs are turned off so they do not alarm. There's an alarm called Personal Alert Safety System that if it goes off, it's going to ruin the whole ceremony. So they got to make sure they get that off and they all come on in a uniform fashion because everything has to be done the same. Everybody has to do it the same because they're a team. Well done. Making me nervous. All right, we're ready for the video.
Let her sit!
Say what up to the vlog. Hey, what's good?
hear the drums echoing tonight, and she hears only whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in 12:30 flight. The moonlit wings reflect the stars that guide me towards salvation. I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some old forgotten words or ancient melodies. say, hurry boy, it's waiting there for you. Gotta take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. We're gonna take some time to do the things we never The wild dogs cry out in the night as they grow restless, longing for some solitary company. I know that I must do what's right, sure as Kilimanjaro rises like Olympus above the Serengeti. I seek to cure what's deep inside, frightened of this thing that I've become. Gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. We're gonna take some time to do the things we never Hurry, boy, she's waiting there for you. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. 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 We're gonna take some time to do the things we never
Wow, that was really well done. Really well done. Probably one of the best videos I've seen in a while. So, good job. Seriously. Casey Williams, stand up. Mr. Williams. He's the one who put a lot of that production together. Good job. I just want to take a moment to appreciate or show gratitude to our current 18-2 Academy, who all came to support 18-1 graduating. If you could all stand up, we'll say thank you. They're the first academy that we've had, full-time academy, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, full-time academy we've ever had at our Grass Valley campus. So they're paving the way up there, so thank you. We also have our 18-3 Academy, which hasn't started yet. They had orientation earlier this week, which is an experience, right? And they're up in the upper part of the stadium or the auditorium. If you could all stand, they start. They'll be starting in the heat of the summer at the very end of July. There's 40 in the academy with many people on the wait list. So it's a full academy starting in July. Looking forward to that. All right, so now we have the special awards. You guys excited for that? Have any idea who's getting the awards? Yeah? We're going to start off with the Fitness Award. We have a fantastic coach here in this program. Coach Jason Gant, he's our women's soccer coach and full-time kinesiology professor here at Sierra College, who is just absolutely fantastic. I'd like to invite him up to the stage and thank you for putting all the work you put in. Thank you.
Thank you guys, and just a great class of 18-1. You guys worked hard day in and day out, and I really appreciate everything you guys did. The award, obviously, you guys know me, I love winners. So the person that I chose for this award is definitely a winner. Not only did they work out every day and push themselves to the level of exemplary fitness, came in fit, but not only pushed it day in and day out and made everybody around them better. I think that's something that kind of goes through it. They pushed themselves, motivated through their exercise, and motivated through their voice. And without further ado, Raymond Cardoza.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. I'll give a round of applause for Coach Dant. So definitely a huge appreciation for what Coach does, because not only does he teach all day and then coach full-time, he was also doing this nights after all of that. So we appreciate that. Next, I have the honor to give the Academic Award. Pull that up. Give a little description of what the Academic Award is. This award goes to the person who had the highest cumulative academic score in the class. It was obvious that this person and this cadet was striving for perfection, as her score was 98.8%, with 1,437.5 points out of 1,455 possible. Almost perfection. So at this time, I'd like to congratulate Jamie Bardwell on receiving the Academic Award. All right, one more award to go. The next award is the Leadership Award. This is a special award to me as a product of this academy and one who received this back in, well, let's say a long time ago. The Leadership Award is a unique award because neither the cadre of instructors, nor the college has any input in this award. The award is voted on by the cadets themselves. When we ask the cadets to reflect on the academy experience, we ask them to ask themselves who the Leadership Award should go to, and they needed to use, and I asked them to use some of the concepts that were taught to them about leadership. And this was last week. They looked at leadership as almost a spiritual achievement of building greatness through a paradoxical blend of personal humility plus professional will. It is because this cadet's leadership constantly works towards discovering what is universal and capitalizes on it. He recognizes that a leader's job is to rally people towards a better future. They recognize that a leader can succeed in this only when they cut through the differences of race, sex, age, nationality, and personality, and using stories of celebrating heroes, tapping into those very few needs we all share, discovering what the true purpose, vision, and goals are of the academy, and inspiring the class to work towards those goals on a united front as a team. This cadet understands that leaders always have a growth mindset. trying to always improve, learn, and embrace change in a positive, productive, and impactful manner for everyone involved, not just for themselves. This leader has the willingness to challenge themselves at every turn in order to improve their skills, abilities, and their value system. He has a willingness to operate outside his comfort zone even when it's uncomfortable, as you heard Cadet Lim talk about earlier. And lastly, he has the ability to learn from his mistakes in order to be successful into the future. In the end, he understands his and there is always, and that there is always room to improve and grow. The communities and the people that we serve are calling you on the worst days of their lives. They're calling you in hopes that you can solve their problem. As a firefighter, you are their last hope. You are their lifeline. They're depending on you to make an impact. And the only way to do this is to have empathy, humility, and kindness in your heart, that you don't judge, and that you go on every call with the intent to make a difference in the world, that you help shape the communities for good. They understand that the one priority as a leader is to be a servant of the Academy and the people in it. The Sierra College Regional Fire Academy 18-Leadership Award goes to Timothy Rohrer. Okay, next we have the certificate ceremony. So this is the last part of the program where we give out the actual certificates, the completion certificates for the Academy. We're going to start with Mr. Spencer Aquilina. Spencer's interviewing with Cameron Fire Department and the Nevada County JOA. Next, we have Jamie Bardwell. She is interviewing with Cameron Park Fire Department. Next, we have Joey Baki. He is interning with Auburn, right? He's interning, so he got a position as an intern with the City of Auburn Fire Department as of last week. Next, we have Joel Burns. Joel is interviewing with Cameron Park and Rescue Fire Departments. Next, we have Savannah Bai. Hold on a second. Savannah has been offered an internship position with the Nevada County JOA and Forest Hill Fire Protection District and the City of Auburn Fire. Next, we have Raymond Cardoza. Next, we have Jonathan Christensen. Jonathan's going to be interning with the Nevada County JOA. Next, we have Michael, I'm going to mess this up, but we say Debo, Diambadito. So Michael has a job with Sutter County Fire Department and has been offered interns with the Nevada County JOA and Marysville Fire Department. Next, we have Raymond Fetzer. So Raymond accepted internships at Auburn, City of Auburn Fire, Newcastle Fire, and is going to be working with Shingle Springs as a seasonal firefighter. Next, we have Justin Hagan. Justin is interviewing with the Nevada County JOA, Newcastle, Pioneer Fire, and Stockton Fire. Next, we have Mr. Wyatt Hassemeyer. Where are you interviewing?
Eldorado Hills and Pioneer.
Wyatt is interviewing with Eldorado Fire and Pioneer Fire coming up. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we have Donovan Hickman.
Thank you very much, sir.
Donovan will be interviewing with Cameron Park coming up.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we have Mr. Taylor Hodges. Mr. Hodges is going to be interviewing with Pioneer Fire. Congratulations. Next, we have Dalen Huter. Congratulations. Hold up. He's going to be interviewing with the Nevada County JOA coming up. Next, we have Sierra Johnson. Sierra's interviewing with the Nevada County JOA. Next, we have Keaton Landenberger. Mr. Landenberger accepted an internship position with the Nevada County JOA. Next, we have Grant Leone. Grant was offered an intern position with the City of Auburn Fire. Next, we have Jeremy Lim. Jeremy has a job offer from Capstone Fire. He's interviewing with Cal Fire, Newcastle Fire, Eldorado's Fire, and Pioneer Fire. Next, we have Caden McGowan. And Caden is interviewing with Pioneer Fire. Applying for. Sorry.
Pioneer Rescue.
Mr. Meadows Turner. Jamie accepted a position with the Nevada County JOA. Nice job. Joshua Morton. Joshua accepted a position as an intern with the Nevada County JOA. Good job. Cameron Perez. Cameron's interviewing with Cal Fire and Newcastle. Blake Rayback. Blake is interviewing with Cameron Park Fire. Justin Rivera. Justin is interviewing with Cameron Park. All right. Tim Rohrer. Tim accepted a position working at Higgins Fire District. Good job. Mason Sanchez. Congratulations. He is interviewing with the Nevada County JOA and Cameron Park Fire. Good job. Joshua Sandoval. Joshua accepted an internship with the Auburn City Fire Department. Carissa Schroeder. Congratulations. Carissa accepted a position as an intern with the Nevada County JOA. Arian Scott. Arian is interviewing with Cameron Park Fire / Cal Fire up there and Rescue Fire. Edgar Verduzco. Edgar's interviewing with Cameron Park. Brittany Weatherford.
Thank you.
Brittany was offered positions with both Forest Hill Fire and the Nevada County JOA. Congratulations. Joseph White. Joseph is interviewing with Cameron Park Cal Fire.
Thanks, sir.
Good job. And last but not least, Casey Williams. Casey secured an internship with the Twain Hart Fire Rescue Department. Good job. How do you all feel?
Outstanding, sir.
I don't think I can hear you. What's that? How do you?
Outstanding, sir.
There you go. All right. Well, 18-1. Attention! This is their final call. 18-1.
Academy, gratitude to instructors.
Mayor, thank you, Mayor. Sir, thank you, sir.
Academy, core values on me. Honor.
Guide firefighters to exemplify the ultimate ethical and moral behavior.
Courage.
Is the mental, moral, and physical strength ingrained in firefighters.
Devotion to duty.
The selfless devotion to an active course of action that is required of one's position.
18-1 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
18-1.
Congratulations. Academy Class 18-1, you are dismissed.
don't know what to do right now.